Hello again YouTube and welcome back to Just Get a Tesla. Today I'm sat here at the Inverness supercharger sticking some power in because we're going to take a little trip. And when I say a little trip, it's the start of the North Coast 500. And if you don't know what the North Coast 500 is, I'll put a link on the screen. Let's just say it is one of the world's epic driving trips around the wilds of Scotland, starting here in Inverness. Actually, the route that I'm going to be doing adds a few things onto it. So it's more like the North Coast 600. And this supercharger here in Inverness is quite literally the start and the finish of supercharging. So 600 miles, a car that'll do 300 miles, we're going to need public charging, and that's going to be the bit where it gets a little interesting. So strap in, we are going to get some spectacular scenery over the next series of videos, because this isn't a one video thing. There's going to be a video for every day, and I'm doing 4 days. I'm camping in the car tonight at a beach. There's a video for that. I think there's likely to be a video talking about my adventures with charging as well. So make sure that you've hit the subscribe button. These are going to be fun. So day one of the trip, we are going to go out of Inverness across the Keswick Bridge, basically keep heading north, up past Tain, all the way northwards, Helmsdale, Berrydale, where you got the amazing Berrydale Braes bends. Might have a meander around there. I've put a couple of stops in. So first of all, I put in for the Whaligoe steps. Let's go and have a meander around there. I have put in for Northernmost Head, which is up here just north of Wick. Again, that's off the route. I've put in for Duncansby Head, which again is off the route. For Dunnet Head, again, it's off the route. Basically, we are going to be adding some additional bits onto the North Coast 500 because they're really interesting, and we're going to be going out and doing a little bit of walking. So basically, this is going to be one of those scenery montage videos in quite a few places, but also me getting out and about, because I think if we're going to do the whole North Coast 500 experience, we actually need to go and, well, experience it. It's not just driving. That's obviously a large part of it, but there's no point driving through somewhere. You actually have to get out and touch it, smell it, experience it. So that's what we're going to be doing on this trip. I've been for a wander around Inverness because frankly it's a really interesting little city, and while I've been doing that and getting a few supplies from the supermarket, the car's been charging up. It's actually now on 95%, which is way higher than I would normally go on a supercharger, but I'm going to unplug now. Let's get on with it. So we're starting off crossing the Keswick Bridge. This, I think, isn't posted as the main North Coast 500 route. They want you to go around the Firth. We're going to go straight across because I'm adding so much extra onto this. Actually, when I measured their routes, 500 miles seemed to go this way, not the way that they were suggesting, but hey, never mind. Anyway, this is always the start of the big adventure. We have got 93 miles to run to the Whaligoe Steps car park south of Wick, and then onwards towards John of Groats and the great far north. Stick with me, this is going to be one of those videos, one of those series of videos. So again, make sure that you've subscribed because there's an awful lot of this to come. So I've decided to get out of the car at Berrydale Braes. So you've just seen me going diving down the hill and then back up again. But the last section of the road is in fact new. The old road had an even tighter, even crazier hairpin. And I do have a photo from a previous time that I was up here when that was still there. So I just wanted to go up here to this viewpoint and see, could I kind of see where the road used to be? And I think there's kind of a line down there, yeah, that goes up to where the wall is. I think that's where the road was. So I'm probably a little higher up than I would have been, but we're going to have a look. So yeah, I can't quite see where the place was that I took the picture. I would have to go and have a look. But when you can see, we've got this graveyard here up on the hillside. It's pretty spectacular. And then you can't really see the road. It's been nicely tucked away. So, talking about the road, let's get back on it and head up to Whaligoe Steps. We are in the village of Ulster and we are going to go to the Whaligoe Steps. And this is one of those things that, well, first of all, I hope there's somewhere to park, because I know that the North Coast 500 has done pretty horrible things to the people who live here. But in essence, this is something that you kind of have to see to believe. So let's see if there's somewhere that I can actually legally and safely park the car so that we can have a look. Because the car park is teeny and tiny. Yeah, we've got a space. I think the best thing that I can say about this little car park, and this is, by the way, the first time using my new gimbal thing, but I think the best thing that I can say is I can understand why the residents complain about it, because it is a little bit on the crazy busy side, but never mind. Anyway, let's go and have a look what this is about. And these cliffs really are absolutely enormous at this point. And we still go down. Ooh, people on the headland. Wonder how they got over there. Anyway, we are going to carry on down there, having come. Yeah, you get the idea. This is a wild little nick in the cliffs, and I honestly don't quite know how you even form something like this, but this was, in essence, as I understand it, used for accessing boats, hence the steps. Although you can only imagine what it's going to be like hauling stuff up and down these steps, on and off the boats. I'm doing it on a rather nice sunny day, but you can imagine what it would have been like in the winter, in the dark. Yeah. And I do have to keep looking where I'm going, because like I say, otherwise I really am I'm going to be rolling down these sideways basically. And we're still going. I can see the oh, hang on, yes, can you see from there? Not quite. Okay, let's go a bit further down. That one was loose. Ugh. Yeah, quite a few of these are quite loose. And eventually we are going to get down to the very bottom. Oof. Now that, I would say, gets me down to water level, but that would be not entirely true. Water level is yeah, all the way down there, you still got whopping great big cliffs. Cliffs are something we're going to get an awful lot of on this trip, but you can see that's like remains of buildings and things here where they were using it. And oh, hello, a little bit of fence all the way up there. Yep, we can see that. It's a long way down. So yeah, there's not really any point doing the North Coast 500 unless you're going to come and explore and go and see things like this. So yeah, first one off the list, Whaligoe Steps. Electric bus. So we're running into Wick. We're going to go straight through the town centre and out towards Dunnet Head, where there is both a lighthouse and ruined castle to go and explore. So again, slightly off the path of the North Coast 500, but absolutely worth doing. Okay, just parked up at Dunnet Head. It's really busy. Lots and lots of motorhomes. So the season still hasn't finished for motorhomes, which is slightly annoying, but never mind. There can't be too many of them. So we are going to go down and see the ruins of this castle first, before we go up that way to the lighthouse. So first of all, down here. Down this path then. So this ruined castle is just over the edge over here. I have already seen it as we were walking our way up. So yeah, let's see what we get. I like the scaffolding that's had to be put there to hold it up. Yeah. Lots and lots and lots of birds. But never mind the birds. Yeah. Ooh, I think we can we walk in or can we go around it? Let's go and have a look. Can you imagine living here? It'd be different. Might take a while for your Tesco shop to be delivered. It's perhaps the only problem. Unless of course they start doing a service by boat, which that'd be quite handy if they did. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sinclair. This is quite cool. So you can't explore quite as much of this as you can some of the other ruined castles much closer to me in Aberdeenshire, but it's still cool that you can come here into the middle of it and you can see obviously there were obviously a lot of structure here which isn't here anymore. It's kind of cool. Oh yes. Do we want to go and have a meander down into here? Of course we do, although unfortunately you only get to a bit of a grating, but yeah, you can see amazing looking rock, just layer after layer after layer, and even the building here, when I get this thing to actually tilt upwards. Yeah, it's impressive. Oh, big step up. Well, this is a find, isn't it? It looked interesting on the map, and I thought, yeah, go on then. Let's have a bit of a meander off and go and see what it's like. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Past the castle, let's go have a look at the lighthouse. Oh, yes. So the plan is we're going to go up here and have a look at this particular lighthouse. We're then going to go over there somewhere and go to Duncansby Head lighthouse, and then past John Groats, because, well, we have to, I suppose, and then we'll go to Dunnet Head, which is the most northerly point in mainland Great Britain, for another lighthouse, and then into Thurso for something to eat. Okay, so this is Northernmost Head. Like all of the lighthouses in Scotland that are managed by the Northern Lighthouse Board, it's automated, so none of these buildings which used to have lighthouse keepers and things in, none of those are used for that. These appear to be used for something. Not entirely sure what. Ah, okay. It's a rental holiday cottage. That's cool. And then the actual lighthouse bit itself. Yeah, there's some work going on in the cottages, so we're not going to go any closer. Let's just have a look out over the headland there. Yeah. I can't get why there needs to be a lighthouse here. Must have been a fun job. And yes, we're going way out over there, and somewhere on the headland right up at the top we'll find Duncansby Head lighthouse. So number 1 off the list, 2 more to go. So we're on our way northwards towards John o' Groats, but before I get to John o' Groats I'm going to turn right because we're going to Duncansby Head. But basically, yeah, we are on the final northern leg, northbound leg at least, so another 10 miles, and then we're at the top, and you'll see when we get to Duncansby what I mean by the top, and then when we get to Dunnet you'll definitely see what I mean by the very, very top of Great Britain. 2 miles from the end and everything practically in front of you is the Orkneys, so we are quite literally at the end of Great Britain with the Orkney Islands in front of us, and on a day like this that is some view. Obviously not with a camper van, but unfortunately I think all we're going to get today is camper vans. I've only seen a few sporty kind of cars and I haven't seen any supercars yet, so maybe we'll get some of those tomorrow, but a wee bit of a disappointment so far. A mile to go, and it's completely wild out here already. Just the odd farm building house dotted here and there, but other than that we are just heading pretty much to the end of the world. Well, of course he has just come around here, hasn't he? Right, hang on, we're gonna have to go and back up. I've got one behind me, and of course I've got one in front of me. Yep. Bloody camper vans. sat there like that. Move up a bit. What are you doing? Hello world. Duncansby Head lighthouse number 2 this afternoon. So let me guess, this car park is going to be full of camper vans. It's fine. Would be quite nice to be able to park up and get a bit of a picture. And yes, we can do that. Park it here. Okay, good, marvellous. Right, let's go and have a look around. Okay, let's go up here then. So I am recording this first weekend of September, and it is very clearly still the season because there's an awful lot of camper vans still doing the round. So I'm guessing that when I get to one or the other of my choices of parking up spots later, I'm going to be surrounded by them. Oh well. So this is Duncansby Head, a lot smaller than Northernmost Head was, but similar kind of idea. Give you a little bit of that as a still, and then I don't know why everyone goes to Groats, which is kind of down where all those buildings are down there. It's just, it's a sign pointing to lots of places that you're very unlikely to be driving to from there. This is much more interesting. I was going to say there's a few birds over there, but actually there's not dramatic numbers of birds, but even so. Okay, I'm absolutely sure that I could get a bit closer because there is a path on the edge over there, but I think that's far enough. So again, big old zoom in. They're pointy, aren't they? I think this is what the Harry Potter sorting hat was modelled on, if you look at the shape of it. It's even got the mouth and the eyes. Right. We'll head all the way back up there towards the car park again. Back at the car park. I'm down there. And this, I assume, is an ROC post. So basically a bunker under the ground that the UK government use to monitor nuclear explosions. I'm going to go down to Groats just for completion, but as I say, it's pretty boring, to be honest. Groats, there's just not really anything here other than tourist tat. I know I'm technically a tourist, but I'm not interested in tat, at least not today. So what we are going to do is have a drive right down to the front, past the sign. And there are fast chargers here. There's these Osprey chargers, but I think part of the fun is not using rapid chargers. Yeah? So let's do that. And oh look, here we are. So this is John Groats. Basically, a cafe and a harbour and a sign thing. So that was John Groats. Did you enjoy it? Good. Enough of that. This is as far on the eastern side as we go. We are now turning westwards and we are going to take the long run west along the north coast of Scotland, and the road looks pretty straight in front of us. Quite frankly, it won't stay that way. This bit is quite flat, but 170 miles to Ullapool. We'll end up in Ullapool tomorrow. We're not going 170 miles today. What we are going to do is go to lighthouse number 3, and that is Dunnet, and then into Thurso to get some food. Might be a good idea because it's already coming up on 5 o'clock and I set off at 8:15 this morning. So what have we got? 2 miles to go, a little bit less. That's fine. Again, this is not on the North Coast 500, so this is another one of my meandery little diversions. So Duncansby Head, not on the North Coast 500. This, not on the North Coast 500. But if you're going to do the route and you're driving along the main road, why would you not want to come and have a gawp at this? Because it's really interesting. Plus, unlike John Groats, which, with respect to it, is a sign on a promontory and like, right? Instead of that, come up here, the most northerly part of Great Britain, the most northerly part of Scotland, literally as far north as you can go on this island before you fall into the sea. This is far more interesting than John Groats, but it hasn't got the touristy tat there, so happily fewer people come, and that's a good thing. I'm going, and you're coming with me, but I'm very glad that this road hasn't got 704 camper vans on it. That's a positive. I can see another 2, 5, 6. Okay, that's fine. So what we are going to do is we're going to park the car basically next to the sign, take a picture. Yeah, let's do that, and then I'll park properly. So this is Dunnet Head with a very grand backdrop behind it of the Orkneys, and as the sign says, it is the most northerly point in mainland Britain. So, lighthouse number 3, and it's 2 hours maybe since lighthouse number 1. So we've had a little bit of a tour, which is fun. Back onto the main North Coast 500 route. Doesn't you know, I said earlier on about 704 motorhomes. Yeah, I think most of them are in this field up here. But anyway, we are not exactly a long way now from Thurso. We're 8 miles, so we're gonna plug it in while I go and get some food. But I'm still very, very, very impressed with just how energy efficient this has been. Okay, so you've got to say, even with non-Tesla charging now as the thing that we have to go and face into, if it's going to be this efficient, then it really isn't a problem. I mean, we're still doing a touch over 5 miles per kilowatt hour, which is just fan-dabby-dozy. Okay, we are going to leave that running and go and find some food. Nice little park, and then we're going to go across the River Thurso and into the town centre. But yeah, again, I've got some time to kill. It's only 6 o'clock. Let's go for a bit of an explore. It's nice, isn't it? You know what it needs though? Swans. Council ponds need swans. It's been a nice day. I mean, I don't exactly want completely blue skies on a trip like this, because for filming purposes, if you've got a uniform colour in the sky, it doesn't look particularly good. Food sorted. 30 minutes is a leisurely pace. We'll take you around the circular walk down to the cemetery bridge and back again. Well, I'm not going to do the circular walk, but I certainly like the leisurely pace bit. Okay, I've literally just plugged this in and it's swiped the screen and tapped the button. I probably should have filmed that, really. So we've done both of those two posts, so I've proved they both work, and now we're waiting to see if this thing gets going, because at the moment it's still stuck on starting. Oh, hang on, a big click. That takes ages. That takes absolutely ages. And a screen to tell us what kind of power we're getting. Ooh, 39 kilowatt. So it is, 3.5 times faster than I was getting on there, but it's still glacially slow for 2025. At least this is one of the upgraded units, although do note the dots, the red dot of death over Shadow Mode. Although it's got to be said, it's 2025. If you're still on Shadow Mode, it's time to get an upgrade. It's a sunny evening, although it's maybe slightly hazy. While I was parked up in Thurso, I was checking the onward weather forecast for the rest of the trip. So today is Friday, and then on Saturday it is going to be mostly nice, and then on Sunday there is the edge of a weather system basically clipping the west coast, so we might get a little bit of rain, or maybe quite a lot of rain for a time on Sunday. We shall see. It would be nice if it wasn't raining when I was sat at the youth hostel at Rattigan on Sunday night, but again, we will see. And it is what it is. It has been largely glorious so far today, so I can't really complain about it. The whole point about the weather in Scotland is 4 seasons in one day, so the fact that we might be having 2 seasons in 4 days, fine, no problem. After all of the traffic we had earlier, the A9 and then onwards to John Groats, and then all of the motorhomes that were touring around, suddenly the road is empty. And this is still the North Coast 500. This is most definitely the North Coast 500, but it's just, I don't know. Everybody has gone home. Most of the traffic was heading southbound, so I assume that they've already done the part that I'm now doing and they're going home. I guess we'll find out when we get to our parking spot for the night and see how many motorhomes are there. I'm going to guess 3. Let's see how right I am. So I think you can get about 20 vehicles into this car park. So let's say 3 motorhomes. Wilds here. Really out in the wilds. Although we've still got, they get these odd little clusters of buildings. You get a settlement that's just grown up out of almost nowhere. Now I've got to be really careful here, because I know that the road, I think it's that little track over there. Okay, this, yeah. This is where we need to go. It kind of looks like, the pavement, but it isn't. So we're gonna take it nice and steady along here. So this is Strathy. And we're heading basically for, well, it says cemetery parking, and I think there is a cemetery there, but obviously the beach as well. I know money has been spent on it to make it better. but I've not been to this one before. The only time I ever came anywhere around here, I went to, there was a beach at Melvich a bit further back. I went on there. I haven't been to this one, so this is an adventure where we get to go along and find out basically what it's like. Nice, weird, unmarked triangular junction. Again, this is, I wouldn't want to be in anything much bigger along here because it is a little bit, well, narrow, let's just say. Okay, so we're going down there. So I guessed 3 motorhomes parked up. Let's see whether I've guessed right, and if I haven't guessed right, in which direction I've guessed wrong. But you can see the beach there. I mean, this looks fab. So I'm really really looking forward to this. Camping in the car should be quite interesting. So there's the cemetery that they mention. Okay, so I get that bit. Gosh, there's some grand places you can get buried. There really are. Ooh, hello, squirrels. It's only a grey squirrel, but even so. So as we come down into here, oh, okay. No motor caravans of any description, and literally only the single car. Well, okay then, what we're going to do in that case is we're going to, I don't know, we'll stick ourselves over here, I suppose. There's a path there. I might have a shunt around. But either way, first of all, we need to go to the beach. So we have found the path down to the beach, and what a spot this is going to be. Huh? Although the sun is going down like kind of somewhere over there in the west, you can see kind of the glow. We are about 10 minutes before sunset. 10 minutes. So basically, we're just going to work our way down here and figure out what this beach is like. Have Tesla, have adventure. I've got this completely to myself. How cool is this? So let's go for a walk down here. Well, it's not a bad ending to the video, is it? So here I am on this basically empty beach in the far north of Scotland on the North Coast 500. If you want to see me camping in my Tesla Model Y, then again, you've got to make sure that you've subscribed, because that video is coming next, and then I've got days 2, 3 and 4 still to come, and then maybe a bonus episode on charging adventures as well. So if you want to do all of those things, then again, subscribe. I'm going to be here having an absolutely great time. I hope you're having a great time watching these videos, and I will see you back here very soon on Just Get a Tesla.